Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Friday, the 8th of August 2025. It's Football Eve and aren't you excited? I'm sure we all are. But will our excitement be tempered by some bad news? Now, the day before the season starts and this comes out, this is from skysports.com. It's a Transfer Centre live blog. And here we go. Mill will reject Sassuolo approach for Tanganga. Mill have rejected a bid from Sassuolo for defender Japhet Tanganga. The bid was from the Serie A side, was worth £3.47 million, which I believe was that €4 million because they offer in euros. Last month, Mill rejected a £2.6 million bid from another Italian side, Hellas Verona. The former Tottenham defender has a £1.5 million release clause for Premier League clubs only. So, yeah, again, here we go again, another team, but, the day before the season starts. Like, are you serious? So, this is going to go on and on and on until the 1st of September, then it's going to die down, and it's going to come back again in late December as we get to the January transfer thing again. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's kind of annoying, but there you go. You know what else is annoying? The constant need to put your hand in your pocket, and it's coming again for those of you, I'm sure, with season tickets, but not only that, season tickets with shall we say a lot of loyalty points, because it's been announced the Charlton Athletic tickets away game is going on sale, and we know when, where and how and by when. Now this is being announced pretty a bit early, it's more than 4 weeks ahead, but you'll see in a minute why, because they are doing many levels of loyalty points. So yeah, this is from millfc.co.uk. Mill travel to Charlton Athletic in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday the 13th of September. Kickoff is at 12:30 p.m. and tickets will go on sale to season ticket holders with 600 or more loyalty points from 9:30 on Tuesday. So that's Tuesday coming up. So, those of you going, the 100%ers are going to the Newport on the coach from the ground, that's at 1:15. So then you got to get down there to buy a ticket for this, I guess. Yeah, there you go. 600 or more loyalty points from Tuesday. From Wednesday, 9:30 a.m, 560 loyalty points. And then after that, on Thursday, so if there's any more remaining, Thursday the 14th, 9:30 a.m, 540 or more loyalty points. And then after that, Friday the 15th, so next Friday, 9:30 a.m, 520 or more loyalty points. So we're still going on the more. And then so all of those people have got over the weekend, next weekend, to buy a ticket, which, that's the home game at Middlesbrough. So I'm sure if there are still tickets left after that, they'll be gone by then, because the people will be at that game and they can buy tickets in person for this game. But if by some grace of God there are still tickets remaining, they will go on sale on Monday the 18th at 9:30 a.m. to season ticket holders who have 510 or more loyalty points. And again, I think they're going to be gone by then. But after that, Tuesday the 19th, it's the rest of the season ticket holders, and they will almost certainly be gone by then. None of these tickets will be going to members. It will be gone on Tuesday, but yeah. So what they're doing is, on Wednesday, it's members who've got 120 or more loyalty points. So basically, that's members who go all the time. So members who go to a lot of games, but not enough to buy a season ticket, or they just want to be flexible, I don't know, So yeah, I don't think it's going to get to Wednesday. Personally, I would guess that they'll be gone on Monday. And if we go down, I could I'm not going to waste my time telling you the selling stuff for the rest. Tickets are priced at £30 for adults, £26 for over 65s, £26 for under 21s, £17 for under 18s, and £10 for under 12s. Again, under 14s you need to buy an adult ticket with it. Tickets will go off sale. Yeah, they're going to be sold out by then. We have an allocation of 3,135 tickets, and there is no coach travel for this fixture. There is no coach travel, so yeah, there you go. So then, there you go. Starting on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Almost certainly going to be gone. I would reckon, if not before Monday, definitely on Monday. I should say there's 8,000 season ticket holders. There's 3,000 tickets. You do the math. You do the math, as they say in the United States of America. Now we're going to move on to this, which is a preview, another preview. I'll say I normally do these at the end, but I'm having to do it backwards because at the end of the video is going to be the preview of tomorrow's game. We're going to preview and predict the game tomorrow. So this is Mark Langdon, who, you know, he knows what he's talking about. He's a Racing Post. This is from racingpost.com. Obviously, every year they do a big, what do they call it? Preview of the season, of the whole football season. Very, decent read. A special edition of the Racing Post, an insert, and it's well worth a read. And they do get quite a few things right, but sometimes a few things wrong. But I'm mentioning it. I'm mentioning it because he's got a favour for Millwall. So let's have a read of this. It's written in like article style. The Championship is often referred to as the hardest league to forecast, the one division where anyone can beat anyone, and the kind of unpredictable title battle that everyone loves but drives punters mad. It remains a cliche, but it's not really true. And Leeds' title triumph last season made it 5 wins in the last 6 years for the anti-post favourites. So there you go. The favourites to win the league 5 times in the last 6 years, they have done that. Although, the favourites to win the league this year, they didn't win tonight. They needed a last-minute dodgy penalty to get a 1-1 draw away at Birmingham. So there you go. If anything, the gap between the best and the rest might be getting wider in the Championship, and half the division start at odds of at least 50 to 1 to win, while a quarter of the teams are available at 100 to 1 or bigger. Last season, Leeds went off at 1 to 4 to beat Swansea, and were 4 to 9 on tricky trips to QPR and Portsmouth, which highlighted the gulf between the best and the rest in the Championship. So that's just individual match. So they were odds-on favourites to beat Swansea and QPR and Portsmouth. In a 3-horse race, win, draw or lose, they were odds on. So and even then, they only just won the league on goal difference over Burnley. I picked out those 3 games because Leeds actually failed to win any of those fixtures, but United and Burnley both collected 100 points. Leeds were 1.35 goals better than their opponents last season, finishing with a goal difference of plus 65, which compared favourably to Liverpool's average goal difference of, I think that's 1.18. Most people would assume the Championship is closer, more congested division than the Premier League, but second place Burnley were further away from relegated Luton than Arsenal were from Leicester in the Premier League in the 24-25 campaign. Interestingly, there are no clear away favourites on this opening weekend of the Championship, and the only strong favourites are Leicester, who host crisis club Sheffield Wednesday, and the Owls will do well to finish the campaign, never mind upset the Foxes. I looked at that the other day. Sheffield Wednesday are 17 to 1 to win that game, and again in a 3-horse race, 17 to 1. Damn. Here we go. This is again why I'm mentioning it, because I picked Coventry as well, and he is picking them. This is a guy, I think he's a professional gambler. If not, he's a professional person who talks about gambling. Coventry are my pick, but backing them to finish in the top 6 or to be promoted are better bets in case of the relegated teams use their financial advantage of Premier League parachute payments to make a swift return to the top flight. So he thinks Coventry will win it, but he's going to back them in other bets rather than just on the nose. Coventry could also be worth backing on the handicap market, but I'd prefer not to have all my eggs in the same basket. And Millwall at plus 24 are capable of making hay off a hefty mark without necessarily being good enough to win a spot in the Premier League. So if you don't know about the handicap market, all the teams they give you extra points based on where they think you're going to finish, and that gives you the price. So they're saying Mill plus 24. So you take Mill's points that they're going to get next season at the end of the season. Let's say 70. You add the 24, so that's 94. So they're giving you 24 points to 94. And if that's enough to be top of the table, then you win your bet. So they add points on to give you like a little boost. So he thinks that they're going to do enough, let's say 75, and then that's what, 99? The league winners last year were 100. So if we do get 75 points and we do get into that playoffs, plus 24, which I think is about 19 to 1, because I did look at that. That was a very interesting bet. The Lions gained 66 points last season and will be aiming to beat the 70-point mark. Now Alex Neil has had a pre-season to work with the side. Ambition was shown in the summer when Josh Coburn made his loan move permanent for a club record fee to continue his blossoming powerful strike partnership alongside Mihajlo Ivanovic. It's a double act which has got Millwall fans reminiscing of the glory days when Teddy Sheringham was causing carnage alongside Tony Cascarino. Millwall won 5 of the 7 games Ivanovic and Coburn started together, the first of which was on March the 15th, and Ivanovic, for now at least, remains at the club despite interest from Premier League and Serie A teams. Ivanovic took time to adjust to life in England, but he got 11 goals in 2025 and seems certain to thrive from the service of left-sided Alfie Doughty, who had 8 Premier League assists in just 37 appearances and looks another strong summer signing. And then he's talking about Sheffield Wednesday. They have a show on YouTube. I believe the channel is called Racing Post. Yeah, there you go. So probably check that out. I'll check that out after I film this video. So there you go. Was there a thing? Where is the thing? Here. You won't go far wrong following Nick. So Preston North End to drop, the Lions to roar, and Coventry for promotion. This championship lark is easy. So there you go. He's saying, even though it is, seemingly a bit of an erratic league, it's not really, is it? It's not really. So moving on to this from millfc.co.uk, they've got pictures from 5 professional contracts for the Millwall Scholars. So I don't know if I've had their photo day today down at the Den, but there you go. And again, this is from the official club website. So 5 of Mill's second-year scholars from the 24-25 season have signed professional contracts with the club. George Beaumont, Elias Mansour, Dean Forbes, Oliver Whitby and Harry Taylor have all penned their first professional contracts for the 25-26 season. The deals come after impressive performances across both the under-18s and under-21 sides throughout the 24-25 campaign. All 5 have been training with the under-21 squad since the start of the season, ahead of the 25-26 Professional Development League campaign, which starts next Tuesday. So there you go. There's Mansour. I believe that's Whitby. That's Forbes, I believe. That is Harry Taylor. And that is Beaumont. And there we go. Upon the 5 players putting pens to paper, Academy Director Scott Fitzgerald said, I'm really pleased for all 5 of the lads. All of them are exciting players, and we're proud to have these players developing with the club and sign their first professional contracts. A few of them have already impressed with the under-21 side last campaign, so I hope they can continue to develop their game further now they've moved to Calmont Road full-time, working with Kevin Nugent and Paul Robinson. So that's interesting there. So, you wonder what the difference is. Obviously, they're getting paid. It's a job now. They have a job, and their job is to go to Calmont Road and do training. So, interesting, even though they're under-18s, you assume... and they have been playing for the under-21s, if they still do their training for the under-18s at, Blackheath, Eltham, or, if they say, this week we need you for the under-21s, can you come down Calmont Road and train down there? But it seems they're going to be down there full-time. So that's interesting, because I think we haven't really seen them. I think Beaumont was at a Welling game. Maybe Mansour was as well, came off the bench. I'm not sure about the others, so I don't know what they were doing. But, yeah, kind of weird that they waited until the last minute. I don't know. Maybe it was done early and they've just waited to announce it today. I don't know. Yeah. Until they could get them all together for pictures. I don't know. But there you go. Now, talking of under 21s, under 18s, their season starts tomorrow as well. So yeah, this is from millfc.co.uk. Preview: under 18s open PDL campaign against Coventry. Yeah, they open the Coventry on Saturday afternoon. Kick off at 12 midday. Chris Berry's side return to action on the opening weekend with a new look squad for their Professional Development League campaign after 4th place finish last season. Yeah, they had a bit of a problem. They went on a cup run. They partook in this under 18 Premier League Cup, and they did well against some certain sides. So they got on a bit of a cup run, which meant the games had to be postponed. So that at the end of the season, they had a lot of games to go through, and obviously hard to do that and just keep winning. But with 5 of last year's second-year scholars progressing to the under-21 side, as just mentioned, the under-18 side has added 6 newbies to the ranks, all of whom featured for the under-16 side last campaign. The Sky Blues last visited Calmont Road in early April and came away with 3 PDL points and a 2-1 win. The line scorer on the day was Ayman Sheikh, who is one of the new first-year scholars for this season. So there you go. The under-18s move up to the under-21s, the under-16s move up to the under-18s. It's all going on down there right now. Under-18s league coach Chris Berry said, as good as pre-season is in terms of giving us games and getting the players up to full fitness, it's always good to get the first league game under your belt, and we're really looking forward to I watched some of Coventry's matches. I think it's going to be a great game. We've prepared well and it's going to be competitive. We've tried to change the way we play a little bit, and we've improved with each game, and I hope we can continue to improve as the season progresses. Saturday's match could see all 6 first-year scholars feature in the squad, and Perry said, they've been really good. Some of them featured heavily towards the end of last season, and we had some very young squads over the second half of the season. It's not massively new for them. They know what the level is and they know what the standards are, and they're settled in now, so they're all raring to go. So, best of luck. Updates will be at Millwall Academy on Twitter, but please be aware that all of the games are going to be played behind closed doors. The only exception is the FA Youth Cup, which is why that competition, is like the pinnacle of youth football, really, because it's dictated that it has to be played in the stadium of the club, or the adult club, except the Premier League teams that skirt the rule, and like Arsenal play at Boreham Wood and others. So, but most teams play at their home ground, and that's why that competition is paramount, really. Now, moving on to the game tomorrow. We start with the manager, Alex Neil, head coach. My apologies. This is from southernnews.co.uk, published yesterday. Pick up a copy in your local newsagents. Do they still exist? Or probably the supermarket. Alex Neil, pre-season, no capital, has put Mill in pretty strong situation, but first result not season defining. Yeah. It's not the end of the world if we lose tomorrow, is it? Because we always lose away to Norwich, so, what's your fucking problem? Don't start crying about it. Alex Neil said Millwall were in a pretty strong situation heading into their season opener away at Norwich City on Saturday, August 9th, but stressed that the result would not define his side's season. The Lions had a strong pre-season, winning 5 friendlies out of 7 and added 6 signings to a side that finished 2 points off the playoffs last season, 2 of whom, Josh Coburn and Zach Serger, previously on loan at Millwall and started the final game of last season against Burnley. Neil was pleased with how the Lions' summer preparations went. I think that with the pre-season we've had, how it's gone, how we performed, how many of our players are fit and available and ready, we're in pretty good shape, by the way, We've done some good business in the window, as well as up to this point in terms of strengthening ourselves, bringing lads back that performed very well for us last year, adding the likes of Alfie and Massimo and a couple of the goalkeepers as well to help us out. I think we're in a pretty strong situation at the moment. But as we all know, when the ball kicks off at the weekend, it all will be decided after that first 90 minutes. From my perspective, it's about making sure there's balance before and even after the game. Because if we win, by the way, it doesn't mean we're going to win the league. And if we lose, it doesn't mean we're going to get relegated. But obviously, like every team, we want to try and get off to a really strong start. Asked if he enjoys this point in the season, Neil said, you just want to get started, don't you? The next couple of days will be everybody waiting with bated breath to see who the team is, see who's playing, see who's not playing, how the game's going to go, the fallout from the game, because it's so publicised now, not only just with Mill fans, but up and down the country, and all the world really. The Championship is one of the most watched divisions in the world, so as far as we're concerned, we just want to get going. Here you go. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And again, from Alex Neil, we got more regarding the game itself. This is from southernnews.co.uk. Again, Millwall boss expects tough game against Norwich City, but confident his side can put in a good performance. Well, here's the thing, mate. Good performance, bad performance, okay performance. Can you win the game? I'll take a bad performance and a win. I will, all day long. Right, Millwall boss Alex. Hang on a minute. Is this a plus one? Oh, I didn't see that. Oh no, it isn't a plus one. They're just advertising. Hey, by the way, news of them plus. I thought it was a plus story, but it isn't. So, Millwall boss Alex Neil expects his former side Norwich to pose a tough test to the Lions this weekend in their season opener, but he's confident his squad will put up a good performance. Millwall travelled to Carrow Road on Saturday, August 9th, a ground that they have not won out since 1968, and that is not for the want of trying, as we'll see in a minute. The Lions lost 2-1 there on Boxing Day last season, with Romainessa scoring Mill's only goal. The Canaries finished 13th in the Championship last season and fired previous head coach Johannes Hoff-Torp, following 3-1 loss at the Den. They appointed former Bristol City boss Liam Manning as his replacement this summer, who guided the Robins to the playoffs in the 24-25 season. Norwich have invested heavily in their new head coach's squad, signing 11 players for the first team this summer. That's a lot of players. Neil expects it to be a tricky match. If you look at the money they've invested last year and also this year in the squad, they'll have lofty ambitions for sure, Neil said in a press conference. They've got a good playing squad. Liam's a good manager, and I think he's a really good fit for Norwich in terms of how they play. We know it's going to be a tough game, but you don't get easy games in the Championship, no way. Every game's tough for different reasons, by the way. But I think with how we're playing and how we've been over pre-season and how we finished last year, we'll be confident that we can go there and put in a good performance. Neil was appointed Norwich boss in January 2015, his first job in English football, when he guided the Canaries to the Premier League via the playoffs in his first season. Wow, what a manager. That was my big sort of break, if you like, by the way. I've said this numerous times. I'm forever grateful they gave me the opportunity to come from the SPL in Scotland. I'd only managed there for about 6 months before I took over at Hamilton Academicals up the year before the Championship. Then to go down there to be given the opportunity to manage a club like Norwich, the size of Norwich, that just come down from the Premier League. Then within 5 months to find myself in the Premier League at a really young age, that was an opportunity that I'll be forever grateful for. I love my time there. And when you do achieve anything with a set of players, certainly a promotion to the Premier League, that's something that's sort of a landmark in my career, by the way, in terms of what I'm extremely proud of. And Norwich gave me that opportunity and chance. So thank you so much. Yeah, there you go. Now, the game, 3 o'clock tomorrow, but if you're abroad, as in not in the UK or Ireland, you can watch it on Mill TV, buy a match pass for £10. If you are in the UK, you can listen on Mill TV, but it's going to be audio. Yeah, I know. They call it TV, but it's audio. Do figure that out. But it is on Sky Sports Plus, even though it is at 3 PM. For some reason, because the Premier League's not playing, they're allowed to show it on 3 PM. I have no idea. They said something earlier, a couple of weeks ago, about if there's only 50% of the top 2 divisions, you're allowed to show it. I don't know. I thought it was because you couldn't do it at all, except for a cup final, because because of the impact on the non-league scene. But I guess they just changed the rules or whatever. I don't know. How can we be 21st? What is this a shit about? They've done the table alphabetically. No, they haven't. They've started to do it alphabetically and they changed their mind. And someone's decided to put us at 21st. You cheeky fuckers. Right, so this is what's happening. If you're in the UK or Ireland, it is on Sky Sports Plus. You can watch it. You can, if you're abroad, you can watch it by buying a match pass from Millwall TV. Or, it says here, obviously this is from livesoccertv.com. I don't know about that. It says it's on Bet365. So, some betting websites, they let you watch the game because they want you to bet in live. And, that will depend on you having money in your account or having a bet on the game itself. There are restrictions. If you are in the United States of America, woohoo! You can watch it on Paramount Plus. So I think there's gonna be a few games on Paramount Plus. I'm not sure if that's exclusive or if that's just there. I'm not sure if you are in the USA whether you can still buy a match pass on Millwall TV if it's been blacked out. I don't know. It says down here. To use the Bet365 live streaming service, you must be logged in and have a funded account or have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. Is that on the game that you want to watch? I don't know. And obviously that's restricted to people over the age of 18. Gamble aware. Please gamble responsibly. This is not an advertisement. Other betting companies do exist. Fucking load of them. Loads of them. There's loads of them. They're all over the place. So yeah, that's how you can watch the game if you aren't one of the 2022 people who've got a ticket. Moving on to this. So every week the EFL do a stat pack, pre-match stat pack. I think we're going to start showing this as in part of the previews. So if we go down, the one for Norwich and Millwall. The reason why I'm showing this is because this gives us hope. It gives us hope. Right. Bad news. You want the good news or the bad news? Well, we'll start with the bad news. Norwich City are unbeaten across their last 21 home league games against Millwall since November 1968. They've won 14, drawn 7. Their longest ever run against an opponent. And that's just league games. If you add in the cup games, it's 25. We have been to Carrow Road 25 times since we won. 25 times. What the fuck? That is insane. So that's the bad news. Millwall have won 2 of their last 3 league games against Norwich City. As many victories as across their prior 15 meetings with the Canaries combined. Drawn 3, lost 10. So that includes home games. Obviously, we do well. Our home record against them is actually really good. Like, it's like chalk and cheese. Like, one is it's not as... Our home record against them is not as good as theirs against us, but it's pretty decent still. They're kind of like mirror opposites. Now, this is the hope. Get ready for this. This is the hope. Norwich have won just 1 of their last 8 opening day league fixtures that have come on home soil. Did you hear that? So when they start the season at home, the last 8 times they have only won once. And they've drawn 3 and they have lost 4. So it's not like they draw, they lose a lot. So in the last 8 games at home on the first day of the season, they have won 1, drawn 3 and lost 4. We have been blessed. We have been blessed by the fixture computer for them to put our hardest away fixture at the opening day of the season. Praise be. Praise be the fixture computer. And that victory But that victory was their last home game, their last starting home game, which was against... so last year they were away at the start of the season. The year before that they were at home and they won that game. That was the one that they did win. But it was against Hull City. And it was in August 2023. So... What are those other 7 games? I imagine it's against teams that are better than Hull City. Are they pretty decent teams? And you've got to remember as well, they've just brought in 11 players. They bombed out their entire goalkeeping department. It's going to take time for those players to gel. So we have been blessed at being given the opportunity to play them now before they get better and start to gel. So there you go. Millwall lost 3-2 against Watford in their opening league match last season. But that was like a goalkeeping disaster class. Not masterclass, disaster class. And we're all thinking, oh my God, what have we signed here? What's going on? And don't forget, we didn't have Tanganga, so he was suspended. Last losing on match day 1 in consecutive campaigns. So we lost against Watford at home last season. But the last time we lost on the opening day of the season was 2 years in a row, 12-13 and 13-14. So, opening day of the season, we're pretty good. Pretty good, if you don't count the Rotherham game. Now, since January 25th, which was in the first win under Alex Neil, only the promoted sides Burnley and Leeds have earned more points in the Championship than Millwall. So Burnley got 44 points since January 25th, 2025, this year. Leeds got 41 points, and then there's quite a big drop until Millwall with 35. So, there you go. Hopefully, if Alex Neil carries on, should do pretty well, Should do pretty well. Now, here we go. Let's have a look at this record. This bad record. This is from 11v11.com. It's historical record of games. And I've sorted it by doing this. Ding, ding. Of Norwich City versus Millwall. And you can see, going all the way back, which wasn't at Carrow Road. And I found this out by listening to Acton Mill podcast. Norwich had a really weird ground that it kind of looked like the Colosseum, like a gladiator thing, where there were like banks of dirt going up around the outside. You can see a picture of it. It's called the Nest, and basically the FA told them, yeah, your ground's shit, you can't play here anymore, and then they moved to Carrow Road. So it looks like, I would imagine our record at the Nest wasn't very good. Then we had a few wins at Carrow Road in the 40s and the 1950. But even then, before the win in 1968, it's not very good. Going from 1951 all the way from the old king and then the new queen, going all the way through to 1966, 1967, and then we win in 1968. So even though our last win was in 1968, we've only won once since 1951. Jesus. And there's some big defeats here. 4-3, 4-1, 5-2, 6-1, 4-1 in the League Cup in 1986. Oh my God, 6-1 until 2014 on Boxing Day. Oh, happy Christmas. Here's your 6-1 defeat. 4-3 defeat in 2018. This is a horrible game to go to as a Millwall fan. It always will be. It always has. But will it be horrible tomorrow? Now, you look through these games. How many times have we ever played them at Carrow Road or the Nest on the first game of the season? Now, this game here is on the 20th of August. I don't think that was the first game of the season. It may have been. We've had some weird seasons recently, with moving the World Cup in Qatar and all that stuff. So, the 19th of August, 2022. But other than that, it doesn't look like there's many. Doesn't look like any of these are, first games of the season. So that gives us a little bit of hope. If this is the first ever away trip to Norwich on the first day of the season, this could be it, boys. This could be it. And if it is, get in next year. Fill in the little form about the fixtures and tell them that you want to play Norwich at the first game of the season again next year. Why not? But then you look at the home record. Look at the home record. The home record's pretty good. Quite a few wins. A few losses, but not as bad as on the away. That is so bad. Only one win since 1951. Oh my God. And that was a 3-0 win. That one was a 3-0 win. So let's have a look at the wins that we do get. 3-0 win, 2-0 win, 2-1 win, 2-0 win, a 2-0 win. So every single game that we've won there, we've only conceded 1 goal. All of the other wins we've kept a clean sheet. Like I said in the video the other day, clean sheets are important. Winning games. The best defences in the league are at the top of the division. Simple as. You can score a load of goals. It doesn't mean you're going to be at the top of the division. It's the best defences are at the top of the division. And that is a fact. So there's the results. You've seen it. We know this. It's really bad. It is really bad. But let's get into the predictions. We're going back to Sky Sports this season because they've started doing predictions again. They would do, was it David Pratt, and then they stopped doing them. It's like, okay, well, I won't bother then. But they've started doing them again with this guy, Lewis Jones. I think he was with the Racing Post before. I've seen him on some of their videos, so I think that's the guy. Well, they all look the same to me, These fat, chubby Northerners, they all look the same. There he is. There's the manager who's going to win the league. In my opinion, Frank Lampard. Right, so let's go down. Where's the Millwall game? And this is from skysports.com/football, by the way. Where are we? Where are we? Where are you? Where are you? So Norwich versus Millwall, Saturday 3 PM, live on Sky Sports Plus, of course. Are Millwall the dark horses this season? Based on the 5-1 with Sky Bet for a top 6 finish, they certainly have caught my eye. Alex Neil is a safe pair of hands in this league, and based on the way his team finished last season, finishing just 2 points off the playoffs, he looks a good fit for Millwall. His teams are well organised, full of bite, and play the percentages very shrewdly. And what might just be the key is their work this summer in the market. The likes of Massimo Luongo and Alfie Doughty are proven at this level and will fit into the Millwall way just fine. If they improve on an already very competitive team at this level, it could be one where they become a real nuisance for the promotion favourites. The 13-8 with Sky Bet in the draw or no bet market, meaning stakes are refunded if the game is a draw, looks a sound investment. And he has gone for, I don't know if he knows the history, but he has gone for Norwich City 1, Millwall 2. So there you go. Now, moving on to this from sportsmole.co.uk. Every week they do a really long preview, which sometimes, I can't be bothered to read. To be honest, it's all there. It's all there. Fair play to them for doing it, but, so... They say Norwich City 2, Millwall 1. Norwich have not lost at home to Millwall for 57 years, and after winning each of their previous 3 encounters with the Lions at Carrow Road, we think the Canaries will make full use of home advantage to pick up a narrow victory on Saturday. Okay, 2-1. So we've got 2-1 to Millwall, 2-1 to Norwich. Okay, so now we need a tiebreaker, and that is going to be whoscored.com. So, I don't think they were supposed to have that there, but they, I think that was supposed to be edited, but they just left it there. Capital letters. Kevin Nisbet, unfit, out. Joe Bryan and Kevin Nisbet are both managing fitness issues and won't be included to face Norwich. Danny McNamara and Lucas Jensen will both miss months of the new campaign due to injury sustained last season. Although, I think Danny Mac is back training. I believe he is. Alfie Doughty signed from League One Luton over the summer and should make his debut at left back on Saturday. Match facts. Norwich have won 8 of their last 9 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. So they won 8 of the 9. And the other one was a draw. So it's not like we've been getting draws out there. We're just losing. Norwich have scored at least 2 goals in 8 of their last 9 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. Yeah, there are lots of goals. There are lots of goals. And you can see over 1.5 goals is 1.36. That is very low. So here we go. Prediction from whoscored.com. Norwich's 24-25 campaign was a failure by every measure, and the ambitious Canaries reacted by calling time on the Johans Fora project. Liam Manning, who guided Bristol City to the playoffs last year, has been hired to replicate that achievement at Carrow Road, and the Norfolk club have been boisterous in their transfer business in a bid to back their new boss. Millwall raised eyebrows in the off-season when they spent £5 million to bring Josh Coburn back from Middlesbrough on a permanent deal, despite the striker only netting 5 goals while on loan. Well, he was injured in 2 separate injuries, so, chill out, mate. Keeping hold of Mihajlo Ivanovic will be key if Alex Neil's men are to challenge to the top 6 positions this year. Well, don't forget Tanganga as well. Do not forget that. But they go with Norwich 1, Millwall 1. So we get the draw from them. Fair enough. Let's see if that geezer's done his prediction. There's usually some guy, whatever he predicts, the opposite actually happens. But so, time for me to give my prediction. I think. Could we win? We could win. It would be amazing if we won. But I think we're going to lose for a very specific reason. I think it's going to be 1-1. And I think Tanganga is going to give away a penalty and get sent off. And we're going to lose 2-1. So I think he's going to get a straight red, Tanganga. So he's going to foul someone, give away a penalty. He does have a mistake in him, proven every now and then. And wouldn't it be the speculation? And then wouldn't it be funny? All this speculation. The transfer doesn't close until 4 weeks time, and he gets suspended for 3 games, which will take him through to the Sheffield United game. No, it would take him to the game after that. So the Wrexham home game, he could come back for that if he gets free game ban. Wouldn't that be funny? See, I'm going for a narrow 2-1 win, 2-1 defeat due to red card penalty. So let's say the ref, we lose to the ref. Let's say that we lose to the ref. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.